Hey guys, today last tier list for Mythic Plus, Dragonflight, patch 10.0.5 I think is at the moment. We're getting a patch in around 4 weeks, so yeah, meta is pretty settled down. I mean, already. I want to show you a little bit also what we got from the changes that we got from my tier list that I made like 6-7 weeks ago, when everything was kind of started. So now we look a little bit what changed and yeah, who is the benefit of those changes. Yeah, as you can see here are the numbers. I took now the range only for 1 week. Here you can see it, only DPS. I don't rank tanks and healers. So yeah, let's go over it. We start with the lowest tier today. We have definitely 2 specs that are kind of not playable in Mythic Plus at the moment. I try to put the melees always on the front and then the casters behind. So we have Frost Decay and Affliction Warlock. They are not really playable. As you can see, I ranked, okay, Affliction was C tier, Frost Decay was B tier, so not that bad to be honest, especially about Frost Decay, but yeah, they decreased in levels of play and everything, so they are kind of unplayable at the moment. So don't go for them if you want to play Mythic Plus. It doesn't make a difference if you want to go for 1 key every week or something like this. You can do that, but if we talk about a lot of 15s, 20 plus and higher, then you can get trouble also getting invites with those classes. We come to the next one. We have here 2 melees. We have the Retribution Paladin and the Survival Hunter. They are not doing well, just to be honest. You can also see the change here. I ranked here Retribution Paladin pretty high at the end of A tier. Survival Hunter was already very down, so they are doing like expected, maybe a little bit better even, but okay. But Retribution Paladin is definitely doing a lot worse than predicted. You can see them here, also nearly at the bottom of the page. So no reason, or I would still say the same on C tier than D tier. The only problem with Paladin is it has no other spec in Paladin to make damage. So if you are a Paladin player and you want a DPS, you have to play Retribution Paladin. That makes it so sad. As a Frost Decay, you can go Unholy. As a Survival Hunter, you have other specs. And as an Affliction Warlock, you also have other specs. But yeah, as a Retribution Paladin, you have no other choice. We come to the B tier. So we start here about talking classes that are definitely fine for doing for making keys, for doing keys. We have here Assassination Rogue first because it's the only melee in this area, and then we have some casters with Arcane Mage, Evoker. Where is the Evoker? Then what was it? Elemental Shaman and Beastmaster Hunter. Let me see. You can also see this here, so it's not like I changed here the things. It's at the end we talk here facts today now. And as you can see, when we look here into the B tier, we also have here the Assassination Rogue. We also have here the Evoker. We have the Elemental Shaman and what else? Elemental Shaman, Evoker, Arcane Mage. Yeah, so as you can see, the B tier was here much bigger. That changed now. We have a very big S and A tier, but okay. So definitely Fire Mage went up, Marksman went up, Balance Druid went up, Destruction Warlock, and so on. Frost Decay went down. So the only other thing that we have here, the B tier now, is the Arcane Mage. Arcane Mage was for me ranked A tier at the end, so not a big change here. But anyways, you can see here the B tier, Assassination Rogue, Arcane Mage. A tier, B tier definitely means already you can play your Mythic Plus. If you don't want to be one of the highest guys in the ladder, then you can also stick with those specs. The good thing is still here, Shaman has a higher ranked spec. Okay, it's melee, so maybe you don't want to play it. Hunter has another spec. Arcane Mage has 2 other specs that are ranked higher. And also the Rogue has 2 other specs. So you don't need to go for these specs if you don't want. Besides, you are an Evoker or you want to play range as an Elemental Shaman. But anyways, they are definitely fine for doing your weekly stuff. Also for some high keys, especially when the group is well fitted around. Apart from maybe your position, but you know also that Arcane Mage has, for example, Bloodlust, so it's definitely fine. We're coming to the A tier. A tier is kind of big, that makes it very nice. We have here at the start the next Unholy spec, so we have Unholy spec, a DK spec, so we have a good DK spec, and we also have 2 Warrior specs that are fine. Fury Warrior is definitely a little bit, no, Arms Warrior, sorry, Arms Warrior is definitely a little bit, doing a little bit better, but the difference is really small here, so don't take it so for effect, so you can definitely play whichever you like more. Then we have the Marksman Hunter, so we already have our 3 Hunter specs here, also our 2 Warrior spec, 2 Unholy, 2 DK specs, sorry, did I always say Unholy. Frost Mage, very nice AoE, you know, also the kiting potential with all the slows and everything. We have the Demo Warlock, is doing pretty good, and we also have the Fire Mage. Fire Mage is S tier already. I think I forgot that here, right? Yeah, Fire Mage. Fire Mage is already S tier, so we already put it here. So we have not a very big A tier, but what I want to tell you right now before we come to the S tier, because S tier sounds always so like, oh, so mighty. Look at this. The game is pretty good balanced. What it shows you here. That means no worries about all these things. You can play whatever you like. There's a lot of good things going on. The only little bit positive outlier is the sub-rogue, and let me say the little bit negative outliers are the 4 classes in the C and D tier. Apart from this, everything is very good playable, especially depending on how your group is rounded. The clear number 1 is sub-rogue, so we put it also here on the first place. And then we follow with some other stuff. First, like I said, the meaties. We have here the Outlaw Rogue that is also doing pretty good. We have Enhancement Shaman and the DH that is also pretty strong. Overall, very well rounded. And Windwalker Monk, I guess you know how nice they are in AoE. We have Feral Druid, complicated to play mostly, but you know, pretty strong. And then we already start with our Casters, Balance Druid, Fire Mage, Destruction Warlock, and Shadow Priest. So, biggest tier is the A tier. Sorry, S tier. If you combine it together with the A tier, you have every class apart from Evoker and Paladin that has a spec and the S and A tier. I think that makes the game pretty good balanced. I really have to say Blizzard is doing, balancing wise, a very good job lately. There's nothing to complain about. You can, with nearly every class, like I said, nearly every class, you can find a decent spot in all the Mythic Plus groups, and you know that you also have some advantages if you have Bloodlust and things like this with you, so you get more easy maybe a group spot and stuff like this. Good AoE, you know, is always important. Nice burst, stuff like this. Kicks, CC. What brings, for example, what makes the Rogue also so strong is the nice CC that he gives to the group. So yeah, overall, that's it, guys, for today. That's the tier list, the final tier list for this patch. Like I said, we see a patch in around a month. I think that's a pretty accurate prediction. In like 4 weeks, we see the next patch. Things can change. Not sure how much the things will change. You know, it's not sure if a D tier spec will get up to the S tier. Not sure if a S tier spec will get down to the D tier. And nothing is overpowered at the moment. There are some very strong specs, some not so strong specs, but yeah, overall, pretty good balance. That's it for today, guys. See you. Have a nice one. Bye bye.